Hey kids, it's Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Now at last, the much anticipated brand new for 2021 Triumph Speed Triple RS has been unveiled today. Stick around, stay tuned, I'll tell you what we know about it so far. So I'm a self-confessed Triumph fanboy. Look, there's two behind me. I've even got the t-shirt on. However, today what we're talking about is the brand new for 2021 Triumph Speed Triple RS. Now the Speed Triple has been around in some form or other since 1994 and arguably invented the big bruising naked Streetfighter genre. So the Speed Triple has been in its current form since 2018, and back in the summer I was lucky enough to borrow one for a couple of weeks, and I've really got to know the bike. I'll stick a link in the corner to that video. Don't go watch it now, after this video. And anyway, I got to know that bike pretty well, so I'm dead keen to understand what this brand new engine, new frame, new everything bike has got to offer. So there have been spy shots and leaks and all sorts of things circulating on the interwebs about the new Speed Triple for absolutely ages, it seems. But I'm absolutely chuffed to say that Triumph have announced the brand new bike today. It's the first time that official details have been available, and they gave me early sight of them so I can bring them to you now. So without further ado, let me run for you now the official marketing video of the new bike. You're going to see this all over the internet in the next couple of days. This way we can all get on the same page, then I'll talk you through some of the specifications and so on and get into some of the nitty-gritty on the bike. So what do you reckon? Looks good, doesn't it? So I know what you're wondering, how much is this new bike going to cost me? Well, luckily I was in the press briefing last week and they told us that on the road here in the UK, the new bike is going to cost £15,100. That's 500 less than the SuperDuke R and £2.5 grand less than the Ducati Streetfighter. For comparison, it's also 1,500 more than the outgoing Speed Triple RS. This bike, by the way, is the Speed Triple RS. There is only going to be one variant of this bike, apparently, called the Speed Triple RS. It's not a special. This is the one you get, and you get everything with it. It's the best Speed Triple that you can get. Okay, so let's just head back into the TMF Operations Nerve Centre, otherwise known as my study. Let's check out the details of this bike and see if the specification justifies the price hike. Okay, let's look more then at the press release and in detail the specifications of this new bike. It's a massive press release, so I won't bore you with all the details. I've just highlighted some of the things that are of particular interest to me. So first thing is, Triumph are saying it's the most powerful and fastest accelerating Speed Triple ever. No reason to doubt that with the new 1160cc triple engine. They say it puts out 180 PS peak power, it's about 178 brake horsepower, and 125 newton meters of peak torque. It's got an incredible new sound, it says. We'll wait and see what that's like, but they claim it's got a good sound. The triples usually sound amazing, so let's look forward to hearing that. It's a very light as well, 198 kilograms wet is what they're quoting. So I did a bit of calculations. The bike holds 15.5 litres, and fuel, petrol is 775 grams per litre, depending on the temperature, but that's what I used. So if you work that out, 15.5 litres is 12 kilograms, so you end up with a figure of 186 kilograms dry weight. And that puts it, basically makes it the lightest bike in the category, I think. So that's great news. Some amazing specification cycle parts as well. Fully adjustable Olin suspension, Metzler Racetech RR tyres, Brembo Starlima brakes, so those are proper race spec bikes. In terms of technology, it's got optimised cornering ABS and switchable optimised cornering traction control with the IMU. It's got an all-new 5-inch TFT. We'll have a look at that in some detail in a minute. 5 riding modes, new Triumph shift assist up and down quick shifter, and full keyless system. I've always got a bit of a thing about a keyless system, but again, we'll talk about that in a second. Seat height 830mm, so not too high, not too low. Goldilocks zone maybe. I've already said 15.5 litre fuel tank. New dynamic headlight and tail light designs with distinctive new light signatures. We'll take a look at those in the pictures in a minute. It's got illuminated switch gear, it's got a lithium battery as standard, and as I said before, 15,100 pounds on the UK roads. Alrighty, let's have a look then at some of the detailed pictures they've sent me. Okay, to the pictures then that came with the press pack. Started off with this set of pictures they call Bloodline, and it shows you how the speed triple has evolved over the years. So I thought I'd just quickly show you these. Can't tell you much about it, but here's the first ever speed triple that we saw on the roads. Then it evolved to this rather splendid blue colour. Why can't they do colours like that these days? Moving on, it started to look a bit more like the speed triple that we know and love. This red and white scheme I absolutely love. I'd love to see this on a modern day speed triple. And now here we're looking at the Speed Triple 1050. This is more the sort of bike like I remember when I was in the market for one of these. Moving on, and then we come to, I think this is the current one, just about there. And there, sorry, or the one that is on the roads at the moment. The brand new bike, of course, is this one. So here's the two paint schemes that this bike is available in, both black and grey. And I just can't help but think they're just a little bit boring. I think the black one looks better than the grey. The grey has got that matte finish, which I'm never too sure about. I like to polish up a bike. I just think the black would look so much better if it didn't have the red accents, but instead had some gold wheels and some gold lettering. But there we go, that's just me. All right, then some pictures of the bikes in action. This is a rider riding, looks like it might be in the rain somewhere, but shows you a good shot of the front headlights. There is that front headlight. Headlights on speed and street triples always cause controversy. I think this particular version looked really good though. Do like that. And then there's a picture later on with the light actually switched on. I know we've already seen that. Okay, so here's the grey bike again. Yeah, quite a handsome looking machine, I think. But I think if you look at the black one from a similar angle, that's a more impressive machine. I quite like what they do with the big lettering as well, where it says RS on the tank. Okay, a couple more what we call hero shots. Fella riding the bike, and same fella maybe riding the bike on another corner. And here we see them both statically again. I think undoubtedly a handsome bike. I do like the look of that. I like what they've done with the exhaust now as well. I was a fan of the under-seat exhaust, but that doesn't make sense from a weight distribution point of view. So having it now single-sided in that position does make more sense from an engineering and balance and dynamics point of view. And here we go again, another view on the grey bike, and the kicked up exhaust does look good. If it had been more horizontal, I don't think it would have looked quite as smart. Okay, to the TFT we said we'd talk about. Now this does look like a pretty incredible TFT. Nice and clear. I love the fact they've got it in like a dial presentation. What I don't like though is this surround on it. I don't know why they've done it that shape. There must be a technical reason, but I just think it would look so much better if it was just rectangular with that, or just circular with that really nice presentation in between. I don't like all this extraneous shaping. It's just a personal thing. There are a few themes available. There's another theme, quite nice in the orange, although I think I prefer the previous one. And then when the screen starts to get busy, they do this clever thing where they make it look sort of 3D, and they tilt the dial on its side so you can fit on other things. Here we've got some music playing because it has the integrated control for your phone. And there's a shot I just thought I'd include because it shows you how the onboard turn-by-turn navigation works as well. Again, this is once you've got it hooked up to your phone. But that TFT I think is one of the best Triumph ones I've seen yet. It's just the surround I don't like about it, but it does look nice in terms of presentation. Okay, fuel cap, I just want to show you this because this is the first time ever apparently that on a keyless system Triumph have included the fuel cap, so that's good news. It looks just like any other Triumph fuel cap really. Certainly looks the same as the one on my Street Triple, but this is now working with the keyless ride system, which is something I just don't think you need, but anyway, there we go, it's on there. Here we see the adjuster of the front suspension, the Öhlins suspension on the front. And then a shot of the Öhlins on the back. Absolutely top quality cycle parts, as I say, on the bike now. Looks lovely on there. And wouldn't that look good if it was a black and gold version of the bike? Next up, here's that tail light with this new signature look. It looks very much like the tail to me on the Trident, and I'm guessing this is going to be the new Triumph sort of signature back end. Maybe we'll see this on more of the new bikes that come out in the future. And there it is switched on as well. It looks good. I don't know quite why it's an M, or whether I'm misreading that, but it does look cool. Here we see the switchgear now illuminated. Great news. Why more bike manufacturers don't do that, I don't know. So illuminated switchgear, well done Triumph for including that. There's that Brembo style Lima front brake caliper, and again the Öhlins suspension. So again, top quality race spec kit up front. And there is an example of the triple clamp. The quality of build on Triumphs these days is second to none, absolutely beautiful. This bike is of course made in Thailand, but that doesn't reflect in any way in saying that it's any way poorer build quality. It looks to be fantastic, so looking forward to seeing that in the flesh as it were. And then there's just a gratuitous picture of a rather lovely lady on a motorcycle, which I just thought I'd include, I'm not sure why. So why don't we just take a little bit of time and see how the brand new Speed Triple RS stacks up against the competition, and at no expense spared I've come up with a little table to show you how it stacks up. So I'll stick that on the screen now. Alrighty, so what I've done here is I've compared it and ranked it in sort of price order against the Yamaha MT-10, the BMW S1000R, the Speed Triple RS, the KTM SuperDuke R and the Ducati Streetfighter. What I have done is forgotten to put the Aprilia Tuono on here. I do apologise, I'm not professional at this. Go with me anyway. Alright, back to the table. Okay, so as we can see, the Speed Triple RS in terms of its power is right there with the SuperDuke R, not quite up there with the Streetfighter, but nonetheless 178 brake horsepower is not to be sniffed at. More powerful than the MT-10 and the S1000R. In terms of pricing, again, it seems to be priced slap bang in the middle of those bikes, and I have to say that the spec that you get with the bike as standard is better than the SuperDuke R and arguably the Streetfighter as well. So 15,100 actually is a pretty good price at this spec. And then if you look at the weights as well, 198 kilograms a wet. We've already talked about the weights, but if you compare it with the other bikes, that makes it one of the lightest in its class. So I think in terms of spec and pricing, it's pretty spot on. So I'm loving the look of this bike on paper, but of course it's all going to be about the actual riding. Now I'm sure proper pro journalists and vloggers and stuff will be off riding this bike in sunny climes as soon as they can, and they'll bring us their verdict. But I want to give the bike a go in more realistic surroundings here at home on a wet day riding through High Wycombe or something. So as soon as I get hold of the bike, I will bring you that, and I'll reserve my judgment on exactly what the bike's like until then, of course. The specs, however, do sound great, and I love the way that they've priced this right slap bang up there with things like the SuperDuke R. The specification being that much better. I love the lightweight of this bike. I love the quality look of the thing. I just think they may have played a blinder here, so I cannot wait to have a go on this machine. The only things I can see that I don't necessarily like the look of is the surround of that TFT. Very small point. The TFT itself looks lovely, but the surround, just the shape just doesn't look quite right to me. It still looks somewhat Fisher Price, but that's just a personal thing. And also, what is it with Triumph and their colour schemes? They just seem so staid on this. Why have they just got those two paint schemes? I would love to have seen this in purple, like I used to do with the Street Triple, or maybe black and gold, of course. Black with gold lettering, gold wheels would have been an absolute perler, or maybe even a British racing green with gold. Wouldn't that have been fantastic? Why don't Triumph do that sort of stuff? I'm sure they've got a focus group that tells them not to. Okay, that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed that, and I cannot wait, as I say, to have a ride on that bike. So Triumph, send one down to me as soon as you can. Don't forget, if you haven't subscribed, do hit the subscribe button. That way I can see you on the next video. Look forward to speaking to you then. Until then, this has been the Mist and Fly. Cheerio. £100 on the road here in the UK, and for comparative reasons, let's have a look at that. Let's do that again, because that was rubbish. It puts it below the SuperDuke but above the S1000R and things like the MT-10. Let's do that again. That's the most important thing, isn't it? Well, I'm glad to say, looking at how this bike stacks up to the anyway, it's a 1160cc triple engine. We knew that. 180 PS brake horsepower. Sorry, let's do it again. Interested to read your comments as below? Stick them as usual, but let's do that again. How it compares to some of the immediate competition. And I did forget to put the Aprilia Tuono on there. I'm not a flipping. Let's do that again.